Hello everyone and welcome back to the Waffle Shed. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hicksy's going to fill this episode up with silly asides and Bond references. But, Doctor, no, that won't be the case. Cross my heart and hope to die another day. Now let's get down to business. The UBW Legends Never Die event is imminent. Legends and Legacy go hand in hand, and we have a Match of the Year contender to test the mettle of the Legacy belt holder right off the bat. Tony Kyle unpopularly took the abdicated Legacy title into his grasp at the UBW 12th anniversary show, besting the spectacular twit Charles Crowley by foul means to validate everything I've been saying about him for years. Speaking of, this is episode 77, which was a target on the WO or the What's on the Board 2025 list. Also on that list, new shirt, list target achieved. And also here, a guest appearance by The Rock, which is still a work in progress, as he's kind of lodged just south of my kidney over here. And then there was this thing about really liking Tommy Kyle. Oh, spelling mistake there, which I've now crossed out. What is there to like about the Abmav? Granted, he's a bit good in the ring, and that flippy thing's all right, but what am I saying? He was thoroughly disrespectful to Nina at Trial of the Champions, which is unforgivable. Anyway, we could see the sky fall down on his run with the big blue belt right here. When the bell rings on Saturday, it will be 1 day short of a year since he last faced the Dojo Bro across the ring. And on that day, Lincoln Spectre, I'm allowed that one, kickstarted his UBW career with a fine victory that cemented his place in the heart of the UBW fans and started his ascent to this opportunity. With the professionals now seeming like a done deal due to injury and disharmony, Spectre is striking out alone. And with no backup, he took out former UBW British champion Spike Valentine at the Contenders to set up this chance. And the odds seem quite short that he should take out another former UBW British champion here. A year on, I think Lincoln will have Tony's number yet again. With tips picked up from his friend Denzel Mack, who narrowly missed out in Carl's first defence, I think we'll be crowning the third incumbent of the Legacy belt in Hitchin. Let's go, Dojo Bro! Now, have you got your complaints ready, people? Now, I have heard that the label runs UBW. Not from trustworthy sources, mind you. But if they do, then they'll have to take responsibility, right? So, Freddie & Co., here are my asks. More sugar-free items at the tuck shop. Discounts for the follically challenged. Cushion seats for the VIP section. Nina Samuels on every show. And refunds if Memes is appearing. Got that? Good. This match has a hint of inevitability about it, for various reasons. The label have been loitering and picking up wins, no thanks to Tig, since they first formed. And when a member of the new tag team champs answered the head of the label's Square One Open challenge, back at We Will Rock You, he rather put a target on his sparkly back. Honestly, that glitter does get everywhere. With Freddie overcoming that test from Harrison Leon, it was only a matter of time before the labels turned the tables and set their sights on the glitter baller's glittery belt. Inevitable, right? And you know what else I think's inevitable? A win for the 8-7. If you're gonna beat the best, you need to bring your best. And who does Freddie have for backup here? Tig. If Idol was serious about upsetting the Wolf of Broad Street and the freshest, flyest and finest is reign, he'd have brought the kaiju Liam McCarthy. The only person in the world to lose more than Tig is the artist formerly known as the Duke of York, and at least he still gets to keep his house. I only ever see Tig wandering around fields talking about how cultured he is. Culture that he likely picks up from the map that his head is repeatedly bounced off. If you're going to run UBW, you might have to start recruiting better, Freddie. It's another win ticked off for Leon and Roth. The Multiversal Champ's reign continues to be golden. I predict. Sorry, did I mention that the 8-7 are champions due to beating the Pooh Boys at Hitchin back in September? I just wanted to check and remind you there, in case I'd forgotten to earlier on. Anyway, what of the other OG member of the 8-7? Well, he's here too, and not just to support his tag team pals. Big Wavy Roy Johnson is in astounding shape. The man with the golden guns. And even more astoundingly, is only making his second UBW appearance at Legends Never Die. Is that right? I'll have to check the history books since the old memory's given out, but it seems that Wavy has been everywhere but UBW of late, partnering with Roth and or Leon and picking up gold pretty much wherever he's been. But at UBW, things are a little bit different. Not only is Johnson not recognised as a tag champion here, unless there are Freebird rules. Bart, any ideas? But he has also been set rather an awkward test. Facing Roy at Legends Never Die will be the tag team partner of and joint holder of the Hustle tag team titles with his fellow 8-7 OG Alexander Roth, one Oscar Myke. There's a lot on the line here. Not titles, but Johnson will not want to lose face by losing this match to a man who could well be looking to take his place in the 8-7 pecking order. Oscar Myke may not be an Oscar Golf, but by all accounts, he is a force of nature. And the Whiskey Oscar cannot wait to see him shake the foundations in this heavyweight clash. Hopefully, West Mill Community Centre will be reinforced to bear a bout of this magnitude. One thing is for sure, this pairing has all the ingredients to leave those in attendance shaken and stirred. Another bout that may well leave the ring and competitors needing repair is a clash between the backbreaker Nero Toxin and the returning Aluna. It's been a while since the Wonderland Warrior graced Ultimate British Wrestling with her presence, and I'm not sure what to expect, having seen a different side of her of late, but I have it on good authority that she'll be on her best behaviour. You promised, and we'll be bringing her A-game for this one. And boy, is she going to need it. Toxin is living up to and exceeding her name, looking to break more than backs every time she enters the ring. When last we saw her in the UBW ring, she got her hands on Violet Knight, who she had stared daggers through from the balcony at the UBW 12th anniversary show, after the hard hitter claimed a hard-fought victory over Abby Cartwright. That killer look was enough to scare the living daylights out of anyone, and was followed by an executioner-style performance. As Toxin proved, she's more than just a contender. There's an annual Wanton Obliteration Award for the most brutal acts seen by the Wafflers each year, and the current shortlist is largely made up of moments from just that one match. Nero is prowling UBW, and seems intent on dishing out as much punishment as possible, before turning her gaze to one of the belt holders. And most would think Aluna is just an appetizer, before the big green wrecking machine heads for a title shot. But maybe that's doing a disservice to the Queen of New Wave. We've not seen her hereabouts since she lost to Ronnie Knox in the Engineer's first defence of her UBW Women's title 2 years ago. But since then, Aluna has gone from strength to strength and continent to continent, picking up titles for fun. She'll need all of her experience and wiles on this occasion. It could be that victory is not counted by whose arm is raised at the final bell, but rather how many limbs are still attached at the end. Now, it's the big one and main event of Legends Never Die, which begs the question, Legends never die, but can they be instantly made? The big belt is on the line, and with it, the status it conveys. The holder, Chris Aries, is certainly carving out a legendary run, but could it be coming to an end? Across the ring will stand one Samuel St. Daniels. Former UBW darling, the dandy is now largely loathed due to his turncoat ways and recent dastardly run. He's proven if legends can't die, then they can at least be shelved. Just ask Sunset Skip. The very first UBW champion was looking to retain his status and trophy in the Morris Cole Memorial Cup back at the 12th anniversary show, but instead found himself both defeated and hospitalised after an assault from SSD. A legend in waiting was next on the list, with a demonstration in brutality against former friend Lincoln Spectre, ending in another win for Samuel. And then the fellow strong dad, RJ Singh, looked to take the former professional down a peg or two, but he too found himself with a loss at the final bell, with St. Daniels progressing to this title shot. And now only one man stands between SSD and wrestling immortality. You have to fancy that Chris Aries won't give up this belt without a titanic fight, and anyone who takes him lightly is in for a big surprise. The Legion King has the nous and the fans, but the West Mill Community Centre is not a lucky venue for him. It was here that his record-breaking tag team title championship run with Artemis came to an end, where they lost to... Nope, can't remember. Surely lightning can't strike twice here. Anyway, I'll close this section with two questions. Will the fans go home happy on Saturday night? And it's a late one, folks, way past my bedtime. And will this song that I ordered be up to scratch?
He'd steal a child and kiss your handy. But now he's bad and should be bandy. What has SSD got planned?
Well, it's a no on one of those at least. Legends may never die, but it appears that nonsense is forever as well. There's one last thing I need to discuss here, and it cannot be ignored. Chase Anthony is back. Since losing his meal ticket with the injury of then UBW champion Ricky Calvé, and Calvé then ceding his title to Chris Aries, the most irritating man in wrestling has been absent, following his hilarious hissy fit at the Floor is Lava. What an octopussy. Now that was until the UBW 12th anniversary show, where he dampened high spirits, turning up at the start of the show and peeing on everyone's potato products. He disappeared again though, and it was unclear what was next, but word on the socials is that he's due to make his intentions clear at the UBW LND show. Never one to threaten without backup, perhaps he's due to unveil a new cohort of Chase Anthony's collective of killers. Could we be seeing a new centerpiece or grand vision? Perhaps with the Firestarter Kai Payne at its center? Payne is due to appear, but with an opponent not billed, perhaps it will just be to light the blue touch paper and watch UBW burn as he promised. That's something that I'm pretty sure aligns with the Mega Mouth's intentions. Or maybe Chase has something else to shock the fans with. Every Bond needs a villain, a role that Old Spangle Jacket seems to fill. But maybe it's something bigger than that. Could it be that Chase Anthony is far more than he seems? Like a Blofeld or a Dougie Powers, the secret brother of a figurehead, long hidden and finally revealed. I am putting it out there. Could it be that the former king of the ring announcers' full name is actually Bloom? Chase Anthony Bloom. And that's your roundup. I'll see you tomorrow, Never Dies, at Westmill Community Centre with the small quantum of solace that memes will not be there. SITKWTWO 7.